I have like 60 pages left and I don't remember what happens at the end. I don't remember where this book ends, the next one begins, and I'm so scared. I'm so nervous. Hi guys. This is the start of a reading vlog. I know I'm not like anywhere normal. I'm in my bed. I am getting ready for reading sprints with my members and my patrons. So I thought I'd pop on here because I procrastinate at the end of the month. And let me tell you, all through school, I was not a procrastinator. All through college, if I had an essay to write, it was done at least 2 days early. Like, I cannot wait till the last minute for certain things. For books, literally I will wait till like the hour before to finish a book before a live show that I have to read it. So I hate this side of me. I don't know how people do this all the time. It's stressful and I hate it. Still, like work stuff, I always do it early. Like anything like school or work related, I will get it done so early. When I was doing my master's program, all the essays were due at Sunday night. I had it done by Saturday. There was no way I was waiting until the last day to finish anything. I was like, if something happens, it's gonna be done. Like, that anxiety is not good for me. So I'm an early person. It is Thursday today. I have a live show on Saturday at 1 o'clock and I have to read 2 books. 2 fantasy books by 1 o'clock. I will say I have a live show tomorrow for 2 books and I finished those already. I have a live show on Saturday night for another book that I'm already halfway through. So I'm doing good with those. It's priorities, right? I have these 2 books to read and all my live shows happen at the end of the month. Like, this is the last weekend of February. My schedule is packed, but I need to reread A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Court of Mist and Fury. I have not reread these books since before ACOTAR came out. I picked the series up when there were only 2 books out. I was still living in my apartment. I moved out of my apartment in 2018. So sometime when I was living there, I was reading these 2 books, and I don't know when the first one even came out. It says it came out in 2015. I only read it a couple years after it came out. So I read this and I read A Court of Mist and Fury and I was obsessed. Though, let's see. Well, that's nice. I got this during the hardback sale for Barnes & Noble, I'm pretty sure. Unless there was one I couldn't find that I had to order on Amazon because everybody cleared out Sarah J. Maas during that sale. But I got this edition because I have my originals with the original covers. I'm not touching those. Like, those are prized possessions. I even have an ARC copy of ACOTAR on my bookshelves. Those are not being touched. They are signed by her. I got to meet her twice before 2020. So I'm a fan. But I'm interested to see if I'm going to like the series still. Obviously, I've read everything in the series already. So I've read all the way up through the new one, A Court of Frost and Starlight, Mist and Fury. I don't remember the new book's title, but I really want to read this because it's been 5 years since I've read it. So we're gonna see if I like it. And I have tabs and my outliner, and I'm ready to tab this up too because I like doing rereads with annotations. I don't like annotating my first read around. I like saving it for rereads. So I'm very excited. And this one's pretty short, actually. It's not even 400 pages, thankfully. So we're gonna get through this. I remember loving Tamlin when I first read this. And I'm pretty sure I reread only book 2. I think I've read this book only once. I think I reread book 2 before book 3 came out. So I remember nothing. But I loved it. So we're gonna see how this goes. Hi. The live show with Tori just ended. We did our Ava Hunter live show and it's Friday night and it's like 9 o'clock and my live show for the ACOTAR read along is tomorrow at 3 and I'm 80 pages into ACOTAR and I have to read 1 and 2 by tomorrow. Probably not gonna happen, but it's fine. I at least want to get through most of A Court of Thorns and Roses tonight. Like, I want to finish at least book 1 before the live show. If I don't finish book 2, it's okay because there's like 6 of us in the live show, so that's also the book that I've also reread twice while this is only my second reread of ACOTAR. So I'm excited though, because there's so much about ACOTAR I didn't remember. Like, I didn't even remember the like tournament thing, the trials that she did. Didn't remember them. Don't remember Reese at all, like barely. I remember like what she had to do with Reese, but I don't remember like how they meet, vaguely. Like now that I'm thinking about it, I like vaguely remember things, but it's been like 4, 5, 7 years since I've read this book. So I'm really enjoying my reread. It is going by fast. I actually ended up reading more of The Choice today by Ashley Jade and finishing that because it was so good. And my live show for that's tomorrow. So I've read every book for live shows I've had to read but this series. So I am enjoying it. It's interesting because I feel like it gets more intricate like as you go on. This first book just feels like kind of more simple than the rest of them from what I remember. And it is the shortest too. And I'm just like thinking, how were we all Team Tamlin? I mean, I loved him after book 1. I was like, yes, Tamlin, love the captor-captive aspect, obsessed, like being the beast. He's cursed, masked, they love each other, love it. We were so naive. Like, we did not know what was coming after reading that first book. So I am excited to read more. Like, not too much has happened. Like, Lucian she's talking to, and I'm only 100 pages in. Like, only so much is gonna happen. So I do have 270 pages left, which like is not a lot. So I'm gonna read a lot tonight, and I will chat with you once I've gotten through more and have more to talk about. Okay. Hi guys. So it is noon on Saturday. Live show's in 3 hours. 100 pages of book 1 left. So I'm not gonna get to book 2 by the live show today, which is fine. I did go out of town last weekend and I had 3 other books I had to read between yesterday and today. So I am 300 pages now, a little over 300 pages into ACOTAR, Thorns, and Roses. It's short. It's like just over 400 pages, and I didn't realize how quickly things moved through this book. Like I said, the last time I read it was 7 years ago. So I didn't feel the romance as much between them as I remembered, because like by page 200 Tamlin's like, I love you. I was like, literally we're 200 pages into a fantasy and you're saying you love each other. So I didn't feel like that like romance, which like knowing the series now, it makes sense. Their romance was more so because they were like there for each other, and it was definitely more physical, and it didn't have like that all-consuming romance. I was like, this isn't gonna last. You know, people do those videos where they're like, what couples are gonna last beyond this book? So it makes sense the direction this book goes in. Like, we didn't get that vibe from them when they initially started their romance, but she has now gone under the mountain to save him, and every time we see Reese, I freak out. And like, I love rereading this after having read the entire series already, because I see things like what Reese does and I'm like, or what they think about Night Court, and I'm like, we know. So it's good. I really love rereading it knowing everything already. It just doesn't make it as magical as the first time, because I'm just like, Tamlin. But I do feel bad for Tamlin and A Court of Wings and Ruin. I feel bad for him. I just want him to have a happy ending too. So I feel bad everything he's going through in this book and knowing what he's gonna go through in the next books. So it's good so far though. Moving really fast though, because I'm like, I only have 100 pages left and she's supposed to do 3 trials and 100 pages. Like, this book, I feel like if she wrote it now would be like 1,000 pages, because all of her books just get longer and longer and longer, and I feel like this one is just very fast paced, so it's moving very quickly compared to the other ones. I remember reading ACOTAR when it came out and feeling so bored by some of the political talk, so like there's just too much happening here that isn't necessary, that we're just like slogging through, and I have not felt that at all in A Court of Thorns and Roses, because it's so short. So no time spent like just talking. There have been a little bit of info dumping of like a person telling Feyre like, oh, this is our past, or oh, this is this curse, or oh, this is what these people did, but like it wasn't too much like some of her books can get. So I'm gonna continue reading. I actually have to go film a couple videos, and then I'll finish my last 100 pages, and then I'll just plan on reading ACOMAF tomorrow. It's fine. I'll get to it. Hi guys, this might look familiar in the background. I'm at my parents' house. I feel like Darcy. I just had lunch and Darcy's like, what can I get on the table? I'm at my parents' house today. They are visiting my nephew up in Cleveland, so I'm babysitting the dog. So I've gotten a lot done today. Yesterday was super busy because I had 3 live shows, but I did finish ACOTAR last night. I stayed up way too late reading it and finally finished. And as my first reread of this book, like, I was wholly consumed by this book the first time I read it. I was obsessed. I reread my review from like 2016 and I was like, this book is the best thing ever, and I was obsessed. And this time around, I think I will drop my rating down to a 4-star, especially because I've read so many more fantasy romances and the romance is done so much better. Also, looking back at this, I'm a little jaded towards Tamlin and Feyre's relationship because I know that they don't last, and it just felt so surface level reading it this time around. Like last time I was like, oh my gosh, like I love Tamlin and this is so good, and like I was like, Rhys is fine, whatever, like we'll see what he's gonna do. But I feel like they didn't really love each other. They like loved each other for what they were there for them. Like it was kind of like right person kind of thing, like right time, like you're convenient and I want to love you, and that's what they did. They didn't really even spend that much time together. It wasn't as spicy as I thought it was gonna be, especially because like people talk about how spicy the series is. I know book 4 is definitely like way more explicit when it comes to that. This one had maybe 2 scenes and they were pretty tame. So I also just like felt like their relationship was just purely physical, like that's all she really talked about. And the people's made such good points in the live show about how even like when it came to rescuing Feyre, Tamlin would rather like beg on his knees and Rhys would literally fight to the death for her. Just seeing those differences in their characters, I'm like, how did any of us want her to be with Tamlin? Like, just watching Rhys protect her so much from the moment he meets her and not even realizing what he was doing was to protect her, it made me love Rhys so much more. But like this book itself was fine. I feel like it could have used a lot more to it because it was only 420 pages. I would have loved more fleshed out like whatever that tournament trials were. Some of those went by really quickly and I forgot the last trial. I was like, oh my gosh. She said even herself like she's not really good at riddles. She can't read, and like she just feels like she's much more like street smarts versus like books smart, and I really liked that aspect of her being aware of her not like faults, but where she is weak. Like she's aware of her weaknesses and she really wants to help and learn, and like she has potential to learn and get better at all of that, but she is so aware of her weaknesses and she hates them. And so that was really interesting how like that queen had tried to exploit them, but like of course Rhys was helping the whole time. And I just love a heroine who does have faults and she does have things that she's very insecure about, and she has other things though about her that are really, really strong and really make up her personality. So I really like that, how just fleshed out Feyre's character is. So very excited for the next book. I don't remember a lot from this one either because last time I read it was when book 3 came out. So that was a very, very long time ago. Like I said, I like remember dates from like where I was living. So, or like different times in my life. Was I in college? Was I in my apartment? Was I in my house? I vividly remember reading this book in my apartment because I ordered book 3 and my mail was late that day. Normally my mail was at our apartment complex by the time I got home from work around like 3:30, and I would like drive by our like mailboxes that had like all of them, and it never, like the mail wasn't there, and it didn't come till like 6 or 7 at night. And I was so mad, but I ended up taking the next day off of work so that I could read it. So I stayed up reading a lot of it, and I remember falling asleep during ACOWAR though because I think of all like the political talk. But I'm gonna go start ACOMAF. Miss Darcy is so ready to cuddle and read. I picked out my new tabs and highlighter for this. When I annotate books, I don't like annotate them. I just highlight and tab sections that I want to come back to. So I don't necessarily write in them. I very rarely write in my books like that. So I have my highlighter and my tabs and I'm gonna get reading. Okay, I'm trying to like not show you my laundry behind me, but I have a package to show you. Oh my gosh, I have 2 packages. I need to go and get that one. So I got a package from Carly from cozyreadsshop. I will link it down below. This is not sponsored. I love it when small businesses reach out to me and I can promote them. I showed candles before, and Carly sent me bookmarks. And listen, she sent me a few for me and a custom favorites, which I'm excited to see. And she sent 2 for my sister, which is so cute. So I'm gonna open my sister's first. Which is really nice. My sister is a huge Sarah J. Maas fan, so we have these. I'm assuming these 2 are for her. So we have one that says Wingspan Matters, And then we have one that has like skeleton stuff on it. And this one has a tassel. Look how cute. And then, oh, she did send some stickers as well, which is super nice. If you're interested in her shop, the code is cozy10 for a discount. And then she said a bunch of these as well. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm obsessed. So, okay. So we have a cute, this reminds me of my Vans. I wear Vans all the time. And then we have a dog mom one. Look how cute. And then we have, oh my gosh, this is literally perfect. I'm thinking my sister will probably steal this from me. It is a rom-com one. So we have 13 going on 30. We have How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, right? Yes. We have 50 First Dates and Princess Diaries 2 and The Wedding Planner, and then the last one is 27 Dresses. And literally, I think I love all these and I'm obsessed. My sister and I love movies. We love rom-coms. Obsessed. Then we have a Lily and Atlas one for Colleen Hoover, and then the one that's, oh my gosh, I love it. I'm obsessed. We have the like personalized book stack one. It's showing that. So there, this one says Heartless, Inked and Lies, A Court of Mist and Fury, Still Beating, It Ends With Us, The Highwayman, Magnolia Parks, and Outlander. Like all my favorites. And then the last one is She Reads Books as One Would Breathe Air to Fill Up and Live. So literally, they're so cute. I love these so much. And so I think on her shop you can get it with tassels or not, and they are all laminated. And what I really like is she leaves the edge around there too, where like, so she doesn't like cut it straight to the paper, so you still have lamination around it. Because when I get some and they're like cut completely around, it like peels back a little bit. So these look perfect. So check out her shop. I love bookmarks. I have like 3 mugs in my library full of bookmarks and I love using them. So check them out. It is cozyreadsshop, and I will link her Instagram down below, and her code is cozy10. So check it out. Good morning, everybody. I'm here with Miss Lily. It's actually Monday and my school's building is closed for a couple days, so we are not going back till Wednesday. So I don't want to get into it, but we don't have school. So that was a nice surprise yesterday when they called and told us that. So I have 2 days. So I'm going to be reading ACOMAF today. My goal is to finish today. So I'm 200 pages in and I only have 400 pages left. I can read that today. I love it so much. So it really shows the toxicity of Tamlin and how Feyre comes to realize like the love with Tamlin's not like actually love. It was what she needed at the time, and after what happened under the mountain, she is such a different person. And the way this deals with PTSD and like a traumatic experience is just so well done, because Feyre was 100% traumatized at the mountain, and it really shows how different Tamlin and Rhys are as supporting partners for someone. Because Tamlin, and I remember like Tamlin has his own issues, and I really felt for him in book 3, right after knowing what happens in book 3. However, he like totally ignores the fact that she has PTSD. He does not care that she is, I mean, doesn't care, but like he is ignoring the fact that she is having nightmares and throwing up every night and just malnourished and weak, and she wants to train and he's like no, and she wants to do something, he's like no. He literally locks her up. And I get he's trying to protect her, and his only like way to protect her is by suffocating her, but it's so frustrating because Rhys is like, we're gonna train you, you're gonna get stronger, and I'm not hiding anything from you. You want to come with me when we go somewhere, you're coming with me. And I just love how much he respects her and wants her to grow, and it just makes you love Reese so much more. And uncovering Reese's background and keeping Valeris a secret and what he gave up to protect his people. Like, how could you not love Reese? How could ACOMAF not be your favorite book? I love it. And I'm already tabbing and highlighting so much more than I was in book one. Book one, I was like, well, this is nice. And like, yeah, sure, she's falling in love. She's learning all these secrets. Book two is a whole other story and so much better. And I just love their relationship, and I love the kind of like action suspense moments we get, because right now they're going to see the bone carver, and you know, like there's just even more to come. So I love it. I loved her getting to meet his inner circle with Az and Cassian and Morgan and Amarin, and they're all amazing. And I love like being reintroduced to them and like learning more about them, what I forgot before. So I'm obsessed. I'm loving this experience. I'm gonna go sit down and read more and update you guys when I've gotten further into the book. Hi guys, it is now more so the afternoon on Monday. I've had a really good morning. I read 150 more pages. I did end up getting these guys in the mail yesterday. I don't know if I showed you, but I got a little poo. And then I was on sprints with my members and my patrons, and they convinced me to get Piglet too, and I'm so happy I did. I always end up buying something during our sprints because I'm always like on the fence, and I'm like, I need your advice, and they're like, buy everything. They're really cute. They're from Walgreens. They came really quickly, and they're only $15 each, which I feel like is not bad for a Squishmallow. So, and they're not as small as I thought they would be. They're really cute. I am loving ACOMAF. Oh my gosh. Like when I was rereading the first one, I was like, is this really as good of a series as I thought it was? Because I was like not really super impressed with book one, but this one is so good. So much action, so much just emotion between Feyre and Reese, and like everything Reese is doing to her. He wants her to just be the best version of herself, learn her powers, and he puts her in these situations to better herself, like with the Weaver. He has such faith in her though, and I absolutely love it. And I love how much she's growing and realizing how toxic her relationship with Tamlin really was. But obviously tension is brewing, and like war is coming, and so much action in here though. She just got to the summer court part, and now they're leaving, and I'm like, oh my gosh, suspense is great. And I'm dying for the romance. I'm like, when is she gonna realize that Reese is the one for her? Because there's so many hints that we see now of Reese being in love with her, and I love it so much. So I'm really loving my reread. I did take a break to edit a video for my patrons and then eat lunch, and now I'm gonna go back to reading, and I cannot wait to read more because there's a lot more that I forget. So like I remember this, but I'm like, wait, what else happens? I remember something really, really big, but I can't remember if that happened in this book or the next book. So we'll see. And I really love those, getting closer to his inner circle as well and seeing like their background, and so much I forgot that now I'm remembering as I'm reading. So it's really good. I'm loving it, so I can't wait to read more. I have like 60 pages left, and I don't remember what happens at the end. I don't remember where this book ends, the next one begins, and I'm so scared. I'm so nervous. I'm like, no, don't happen. I don't know. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, but I think something bad happens at the end of this book and not in the beginning of the next book. And I'm so nervous. I don't want to read more, but I need to finish this book, so we're gonna continue on. I just got to that part. It is the end of this book. This is gonna be so hard to read. I finished. This book is so good. Like, the pacing is amazing. I think that this series is paced a lot better than the Crescent City pacing. This is just so much more action-packed and fast-paced and a lot less slower spots than the two Crescent City books are. Granted, those are a lot longer, but this book was so good. I was freaking out the last 100 pages, like freaking out. Even though I knew it was gonna happen, and I remembered, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna happen and this is gonna happen. Oh my gosh, it was so good. The ending, absolutely epic. Setting up for the third book perfectly. I'm already like, should I just read the third book now? I have so much reading to do that I can't, but like I want to read the third book now because I remember so many things that happened in that book and the epic battles in that book too. I really love how all of the characters are so involved in the battles and have such important roles in the battles and bring so much strength to their like core group of people, and I love it. I love how all of them became so close to Feyre and how she was a part of the inner circle. I loved it so much. I loved how Rhys gave her everything Tamlin said he couldn't. Tamlin's like, that's not the way we do it. That's not a thing. That doesn't work. I can't save you. Rhys literally goes to the ends of the earth for her, and I'm obsessed. Like, there is a reason people are so obsessed with Rhys, because he is so in love with her, trusts her wholeheartedly though, wants the best for her, knows how strong she is, and just like lets her do what she can. And I love that. But he also makes sure she knows how much he loves her too, by certain things. And like, I don't know how spoilery I want to get, but like that ending, amazing. I love just how they click and they just know everything and trust each other wholeheartedly, and it's amazing. Tamlin, I still remember that shred of humanity of him in book 3. So I'm still giving him that, but he's a trash person. Trash. Even though he kind of slightly redeemed some parts of it in book 3. I completely forgot some of the things he does at the end of this book. No. People on our live show were talking about how they would want a Tamlin redemption story book, and I'm like, I'm not reading a book about Tamlin. No thank you. And I wonder if Elaine's mate is actually going to be who she's with, or if they're going to change that. I don't know. But I was loving all the Cassian and Nesta interactions. I'm so excited for that. Asriel and Morgan. Yes. Yes, please. But we'll see. This book was so good. So good. 5 stars. Like, no wonder this is an absolute favorite fantasy romance of mine. Absolute 5 stars. And I loved it. This reread was so fun. I'm so happy I reread books 1 and 2. Let me know if you've reread these recently or if you read them recently, what your thoughts are. Do you like this series or not? Would you give it 5 stars? Let me know. And that's all I have. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye.